for another edition of The Morning View.
Ruben Amorim has admitted that he has tweaked things. He's admitted that he's changed things. And I say admitted, I'd say he's just said that he has. And it's really interesting because over the last couple of months, I think one of the biggest talking points is how much have Man United changed? How much has Ruben Amorim changed? What do the tactics look like? It obviously isn't the formation that he's changed. And some Man United fans were very adamant that he hadn't changed one thing. The only thing that had changed was the fact that the players are more confident and the players understand what to do and they're performing better. It's nothing to do with the manager. He's been the same the whole time. And some fans were saying, well, we can see some changes. We can see that we go long now. Some of the tactics have been adapted, etc., etc. And nobody really agreed. Well, I'm glad that now Ruben Amorim has come out and basically said how he sees the situation. And he says that he's changed. Let me know in the comments what you think, because some people are also saying that Ruben said, I won't change. The Pope won't make me change. And now he's saying he has changed. So I've seen some people sort of jump on that to sort of suggest, I don't really know where I stand with Ruben because he told me he wouldn't change and now he would. I can't believe him. Expect. Listen, at the end of the day, who really cares? That's what I've learned. Who really cares? We're unbeaten in 5. Everton on Monday night. Let's get unbeaten in 6 with another W as well, not a draw. And we just kick on. I think the truth of the matter is clearly the infighting, the this, the that, the he said this, she said that. No, you're wrong. Doesn't matter, does it? It doesn't matter. So there you go. There you go. Welcome back to United View. Welcome back to the Morning View. We got a lot to talk about. A lot to talk about. The Amorim tactical tweets. He reflects on his first year. Of course, Man United versus Everton and a little bit of transfer stuff as well. I was listening to the podcast on The Athletic with David Ornstein. He was talking about a little bit about Semenyo, which was a bit in contrast to what Ben Jacobs was saying about Antoine Semenyo. Shout out my guy Carl Anker as well. I saw him getting involved saying, listen to David Ornstein. So I did. I went and listened to the podcast to see, and it was completely opposite to what Ben Jacobs was saying. But we'll get into that a little bit later as well. Owen, happy Friday. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday indeed. Hope everyone's doing good. Oh, it's a cold one, Flex. It's a cold one, isn't it?
Oh, it's cold. It is.
Oh, yeah. Took Asher out for a walk this morning. We're slipping and sliding all over the place as well. It was lovely. Yes. But today, Flex, we kind of teased it last week, didn't we? But now you can get your opportunity. What opportunity am I talking about? I'll tell you exactly what opportunity I'm talking about. Simply beat Robbie. Yes, everyone dreams of it, don't they, Flex? One day to beat Don Robert. That's what they're hoping for.
Don Robert.
Don Robert of Roberton of AFTV land. Yes, you can beat Robbie. And I'm looking forward to it, to be honest with you.
I can't wait. This is good. Yeah.
Yes, because this show is brought to you by William Hill's Final One Standing, football's ultimate free-to-play eliminator game. Yes. Now, some people, as you can actually see here, if I scroll down a little bit, in your private leagues or whatever, or in your other competitions, are still going strong in your existing games. But me, as you know, you've seen my journey. You've seen my chronology this season. Yep. And I got knocked out several times. But I'm ready to go again. I'm ready, just like Manchester United are ready to go again. I'm ready to be hurt again. This time, Don Robert, it's personal, yeah? I'm entering the brand new Beat Robbie League. All you've got to do, stay in the league. It's actually, this is good. All you've got to do is stay in the league longer than Robbie Lyle, Don Robert, whatever you want to call him, and you're guaranteed to win a share of £50,000. Some are calling it the easiest win of the season, Flex. That's not me. That's not me.
No.
That's not me.
It's exciting. We on DR yesterday, Matisse got the calculator out because you've got to be quite calculated with this. You can't just be like, it's Robbie and I want him to lose immediately. Well, no, you don't want him to lose immediately. You want him to stay in it for quite a while.
A little bit.
Let the numbers go down of who's in there. You stay in as long as possible. Because as it stands, Matisse worked out that about with 100 and something odd thousand right now with 50 grand, we get 47p each. Something like that. On week one.
Nothing to sniff at. Nothing to sniff at still.
No, nothing to sniff at. It's tough times out there.
Exactly. You know? Get some sweets. You know, you
yeah.
Still do that.
Well, I don't even know if you can do that anymore with 47p. But
get something.
Yeah, the 2p sweets still exist. However, what you probably want is to stay in there. You want to encourage Robbie. Yeah, Robbie, you can do it. Come on, pick the bankers. Come on. And when it gets to like week 9, week 10, week 11, those type of things where there's like, you want to get down to like 1,000 people in there, maybe less.
Yes.
So yeah, you got to pick smartly yourself.
Yes, and the game's the same. You pick one Premier League team to win. They win, you stay in. They lose or draw, you're out of there. And remember, once you pick the team, you can't pick them again. So if you fancy your chances, download William Hill app. Hit the link in the video description below. It's pinned in the chat. And enter Beat Robbie by November 22nd. That's tomorrow, 3 p.m. kickoff. You can see it on the screen. You've had time during this international break to think about things. I've been thinking about things. But remember, it's 18 plus, UK and Ireland only. Always gamble responsibly. Full terms and conditions apply. And all the information is in the link below. Right, Flex, I've got to make my pick. Right, so I'm going to make my pick.
Well, who are you going with?
Even though this is important. Right, who am I going to go for?
It's tough this week, man.
I'm staying clear of North London Derby. I generally stay clear of Manchester United in terms of these things, just because I don't like put the pressure on myself.
It's got to be Chelsea. It's got to be Chelsea. Oh wait, they're 12:30. You can't do Chelsea.
They're not involved.
Oh no, I think you got to go Liverpool Forest.
Do you? I mean, Sean Dyche away at Anfield. I don't trust Liverpool.
Bournemouth, West Ham. Do you trust that? Villa, Leeds.
You know what? Yeah, Villa. You know what, Flex. Yeah, people can sort of say, "Oh, and you've said things about Ruben Amorim in the past."
Oh,
that's how much I believe in my team, mate. Yeah, that's how much I believe in my team.
Owen.
That's how much I believe.
Yeah, but it's round one, bro.
That's how much I believe in the positivity. Yeah,
you don't
that's
have
how much.
to prove anything to anyone.
I don't. But
it's round one, bro.
Speaking of, Don Robert,
believe.
That's what I do. Okay, I believe. Yeah,
all right.
Believe.
All right.
Back your team. Back your manager. Back your players. You big bloody haters. Yeah, that's what it is.
I hear you.
That's what.
But I just first game, bro. First round.
Believe.
And I've got us down to beat Everton as well, but I just don't know if I would have done it for final one standing. But you're right. You're right. To be fair, you're right.
I mean, is it very calculated in the sense of I might need Man United another week, assuming that Robbie stays in. But you know what? Yeah, whatever. Yeah, I believe. Yeah, I believe. Yeah, true. I believe.
True. Okay, right. So final one standing. I'm ready. Yes, I'm ready.
Are you ready for what's to come? Are you ready for what's to come in this next part? Are we all ready, folks? Are we all ready? Are we all going to be on our best behavior? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So Ruben Amorim, he's done. You'll be surprised, Flex. We covered one yesterday. Another interview. This time it's from with Premier League Productions. But actually, Manchester United have done a really good article on their website talking. This is Manchester United, so this is probably a little bit spin, but positive spin. In that regard,
Yeah,
spin.
Your audio was cutting out a little bit.
Oh, was I?
Yeah,
maybe it was. Well, okay. But it's Manchester United's website, right? It's Manchester United's website, so you don't have to get accused of taking out context.
Can't make it up.
Or or biases or anything like that. If there is bias, if there is spin, it's positive because it's state media, if you will, from Manchester United. So here's what he said. Ruben Amorim, I'd literally just copy and pasted, right? Ruben Amorim has admitted he needed to adapt to the demands of the Premier League in his first year as head coach of Manchester United. The Portuguese arrived at United in November 2024. He's been here a year. And when Everton come to Old Trafford on Monday, it will be a year since the day of his first game in charge, which of course was 1-1 away. It was a draw against Ipswich Town. Taking on such a prominent position at a club the size of Manchester United is enough to shape anyone. And Amorim certainly has not been immune from that experience himself. This is Manchester United's words. He says, and I quote, "I think I changed as a coach," the 40-year-old said, sitting down this week to speak to Premier League Productions. "I see things a little bit different. I had an idea of how to play, how to build up in certain ways, and I changed that." He continues. The article continues. As much has been evident in recent months, since the arrival of Senna Lommans, our new goalkeeper, with the new keeper given license to kick long whenever the game demands it. He said, quote, here, and you see this in the Premier League, we are really focused on data, Amorim continued. So you need to change the way you do things. You need to pay attention. Of course, you want to play in a specific way, but you need to adapt. You need to understand where you need to play more possession, the way we win some corners to push the opponents, all these things. He then said, adapting to the intensity of the English top flight has been a sizable task over the past 12 months, not just in terms of tactical decision-making, but also for the off-field demands that come with being in charge of a team with the worldwide following like United's. Quote, I feel like last year I was always overwhelmed with the games, the Reds boss admitted. I didn't have time to settle down, to understand that my job is not just the pitch, it's outside the pitch. It is to push for everyone. I felt like last year I was really emotional all the time because I was struggling with the results. I'm always saying that this is going to take time, but I'm the guy that has the bigger responsibility to take care of everything and control the emotions a little bit better. He said, the article then says, keeping those feelings in check has perhaps not been helped by the unpredictable nature of some of United's games in recent months. We've logged the joint most first half goals so far in the Premier League this season, 11, but have also conceded the most second half goals of any team in the league. This is Man United's words.
So
wow. Amorim revealed the factors he's noticed behind that trend. I think we lose intensity, he said. I think we have some problems in some games that we lost. I think 2 times, Casemiro, because of some pain. Harry Maguire, the same thing. So like we said last time, I thought you made the right subs, but injuries dictated. They are key players, not just in the way they play, the experience they have, but also the set pieces, and people don't take that into consideration. Finally, he says, I think we lose some impetus when we are in advantage. We lose that thing of continuing to press the same way. It's a lot of things together, like we said. I think we think it's about let's not suffer a goal. And our mindset should be we have one goal. We just need another opportunity to kill the game. So I think it's mental, but I think it's also physical. So we need to improve in that aspect. So like I said, it's actually a really good interview from Ruben Amorim, a very open and honest interview from the Manchester United head coach there, in which he says a lot of things, a lot of things. Like you said earlier on, when I saw those, those things, I did just kind of roll my eyes and sort of go, I don't have the energy for it, Flex. You know what I mean? I don't have the energy of because I saw social media last night and I saw all right, so actually, see, he did say he's changed things. You people were going crazy, and no, he didn't say that he changed things, and I don't care. You know what I mean? I as long as my big thing was win matches, don't lose. More often than not, make sure you're picking up points and get into those European spots, which is where we're at. So whether or not he has changed things, I'm almost, to be honest with you, I'm actually a little bit annoyed that it's become such a point of contention in the Man United fan base. Like this desire to be right either way. I'm just tired of it. You know what I mean? I am tired of it. And again, whatever he's done to make sure that we're winning more games, good. I'm happy with it.
I think you're right. This, finger pointing, point proven doesn't solve anything. It doesn't solve anything. If you look at my tweets or X posts from seeing this, I went straight into fight mode. I did. I'll admit it. I did. Got a couple of ats from people saying, "Oh, Flex, look, you vindicated. Look, he said what you said. No, now you're gonna, shout out the guys in the chat. A few people saying Flex about to go off. Oh, wait, I told you so." And yeah, this could be a position. This could be a point where finally, the manager's saying what I said a little while ago. However, I'm actually not going to do that. I'm actually not going to do that. I actually had to think about it after clapping back at a couple people. And the immediate thing was, as soon as it did that, it didn't solve anything. All it was people responding to me, not talking about what Ruben Amorim said, not addressing what Ruben Amorim said, but just going, just admit you was wrong after Grimsby. And I went, actually, it doesn't, there's no point.
It's not even that, Flex. It's not even that. It'll just be, yeah, but you're a prick.
Yeah. And
you know what I mean? And to be honest, I think in defense of you, that's where it does become difficult, because when you do share your opinion or whatever, you know, when you do share your opinion and then you do get when you get insults, you know what I mean, back.
Yeah. It's
when something else comes back like this, of course, because you were insulted, you feel like you want to push back, but it doesn't really solve anything, does it?
But it don't really solve anything. But so I will say to the people, so what I would say is to the people that were saying he hasn't changed anything, nothing has changed. The players have just got more confidence and the manager has done nothing different. You were chatting rubbish. I will say that, because the manager has just come out himself. He's just said, I have adapted. I have changed this. I have changed that. And literally 3 weeks ago, you know, when I was being a bit petty on X, I just put the video. I said, this is what I said. And I did go. I was that petty. I went through the comments because I was in that headspace. I was like, let me just remind myself of what they were saying. And as you know, like you said, it was just the abuse. It was just, you're a fake fan. You just can't do this. 3 weeks later, the manager says, I have changed quite a few things, you know. Had to adapt. The A word. Imagine that. That he's said. But the truth of the matter is, yeah, the truthful matter is, yeah, it clearly doesn't change it. It doesn't.
It doesn't, because, like, for example, here, and by the way, the YouTube comments are weird this morning because your names aren't coming up, your handles are coming up, so it's difficult to see which ones are who, by the way. But you get stuff like this. You're taking this comment out of context, Flex. Taking this comment out of context, especially Flex. He never said he changed during the Sunderland game. He said he changed as a coach when he came to English football. Not very hard to understand. Literally, I don't know the actual name. It's just the handles. It's on the Man United website. Because I specifically this morning went, I'm not even going to just take the quotes. I'm going to literally copy and paste the whole article and go on it. He said, like, the Man United website is going, since Senna Lomas has come in, he's gone longer when they've when I'll get it up on the screen again. You know what I mean? Yeah. But it goes to show
all I said.
It doesn't. And this is my point: is it doesn't matter, because I think that wherever you're at, you can get like the new information or you can get the quotes, but it won't really change your opinion that much. I don't, from what I've seen, I don't think it will. So the goalpost will just basically get shifted a bit, which is, no, he didn't say that. He actually said this. Or actually, no, when he said that, he meant this. And then you sort of just go, well, then it doesn't matter then, does it?
No, then it doesn't matter. And also, you know, when you're talking about the things that are right and wrong, if you want to get into the minutiae of it, which, you know, it leaves you in a shit place. It's like, well, yeah, because people say he didn't change the formation, though. No, he didn't. You were saying the formation was the problem. Yeah, I did at one point. I also went on to say that, well, if you're not going to change the formation, you've got to adapt. You've got to, you know, you've got to do different things. You've got to this, that, and the other. And he did it. He did it. I'm not mad.
And it's not even a oh, you just basically you don't want to admit that you're wrong, because, like, for myself, I can only speak for myself, but personally, like, so I've looked back and reflected. I spoke about this quite a lot recently, of things that I've sort of, would I have changed differently, or was I wrong? I think we did the thing a couple of weeks ago, didn't we, when we were going back and forth about it. I think I was wrong, certainly for a few games into this season, being like, gotta go, when the reality is a lot of games to go, isn't there? And that is a bit of head loss. And you should actually be a bit calmer. And as I've said a lot recently, not too high, not too low. And you do have to wait how see things play out. So in that regard, absolutely, I was wrong. Hold my hands up for that. No doubt about it. I'm a fan, get emotional. But I certainly won't be one that, like, you know, like apologize, or, you know, or also when this information is presented, be like, well, no, I said that, so I can't admit that I wasn't wrong. You know what I mean? Like, just, you know, there's been tweaks. And also, when you really think about it, deep down, if we're being really honest with each other, it's really not that deep, is it?
No, it's not. It's
you know what I mean?
We make it that deep.
if I go out into public, and if I went to or I went say, I always use the example of my dad. If I go to my dad, oh, Ruben Amorim did actually say that he tweaked some things. He would just go, so.
Yeah.
Like, did we win at the weekend, or did we? You know what I mean? Oh, so okay, cool. Well, we're winning more matches recently, so that's the thing I care about. Like, it really doesn't matter. And actually, again, another learning point is what we should probably do is stop getting so hung up of what a manager says in every single interview, because he does a lot of them. There's a lot of press conferences. What we should really get hung up on is the results. And where are we in the league? Are we progressing forward? The tactical, how we get there, it really doesn't matter. Like,
it don't matter. It don't. But that's what I'm saying. It is still what it is. It is still annoying, because you see something that you said 3 weeks ago that you didn't even say. Like, I never said that in like a rah, rah. I said it as an observation. Go back in the video. I was like, I've noticed this, and you get shot down. People go, no, he hasn't done this. You're lying. You just don't want to say this. You just don't want to say that. And that's why it's important just to say what you see with your eyes. The catchphrase,
which,
isn't it?
by the
Say
way, that's fine. That's if someone else goes, no, that I don't think that. That's fine. I think that the part is when it gets weird is like, I don't see that. Fuck you, Flex.
Yeah,
you
stupid.
know what I mean? You fake.
That's when you fake fan. Well, so all them. That's where all them people. I will say it. They can hold that. I don't care. I'm sorry. Them people there that were going over the thing of like just talking about football and trying to say stuff. There you go. The manager's just said it. So now you can all in your little cults go and argue over there and undo what you need to do, and you can all talk amongst yourself saying the manager's lying. If you think he's lying now. If you think, well, the formation.
That's this. I think perfect from D. This is exactly it.
This is what I'm saying.
It's an out either way, Flex. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Well done for rising above it. I personally don't think Ruben changed, but everyone's entitled to their opinion. That is exactly it. That is exactly
and that's just it. And that's why after my initial thing, you guys know me, Petty, Jurgen Fleck, like you know, I'm ready. I've said, Owen, set the show up, get me on. This was last night. Owen was sleeping. He didn't even see it till the morning. I'm going, set me up, get this show, let's go, get the receipts. Here's the receipts. And then I woke up in the morning still on the same smoke. And then I went and I took a second and I went, wait a minute. Hold on, wait a minute. There is no point. There is no point. And actually, what I actually just want to do, realistically, is just keep moving further and further away from that Grimsby game. That point where, well, not even Grimsby, Brentford was the last embarrassment, wasn't it? Or was it Man City? No.
But also as well with that, this is,
and just keep getting better and keep winning games.
This has also been my point recently as well, is those the Brentford game or the City game, that will happen again this season. We're not going to win every game. There are going to be really disappointing performances and really disappointing results. But as we've seen so far this season, they will happen. But how do you react? They are just sort of one game. As we've seen with the league's really tight. So lots of people are dropping lots of points. Like, it's not the end of the world, is it? You know, it's not.
Like all elite said that, but if we lose Monday, like that's what I'm saying. If we lose Monday, that's where we've been saying over the last however many weeks. We can't then go back to fuck it. This, that, and the other. This is why he's got to go, and you know the things that Owen was saying when we conceded the Richarlison goal against Spurs, and it all changed, and then obviously you get an equaliser, and it spares some of your blushes. The key is it showed us. I've definitely learned from it. Which, you know, you could say you should have learned by now because, you know, look, this is my 8th year doing content, maybe 9th. Can't remember. But so I have seen those big swings, but it still doesn't. It still doesn't stop you in the moment because you're in it. You're in it.
Yeah.
You're all emotional. We support the club. We love the club. And when you see things consecutively that take you to that negative place like this, you're left in a place, in my opinion, anyway. In my view, you're left in a place that's like, well, hold on a minute. Nah, I'm done. I can't see this. And the reality is, you do need a bit more patience. And that's why when things like this happen, there's no point. There's no point me putting up this man's things, this woman's things, and saying, "Oh, look, you said this to me on that day. You should get to me at that bit." There's no point doing this if you're not going to be honest about how you feel. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and I think also,
there you go.
Also, also as well, and this is the other part of it that I've seen. So you'll probably see it in the chat this morning, or you see it in comments or whatever. So the one of the pushbacks is, so what, you know more than the Manchester United manager, do you? You know more than the head coach, or you think Ruben Amorim listened to you? You were crying for him to do tweaks, and you think Ruben Amorim listened to you, and you sort of go, no. But if we go down the path of basically, but you don't know more than the Manchester United head coach, so don't share your opinion, we might as well all go home. You know what I mean? Because even if this space didn't exist, right, we'd all be chatting amongst, friends, family, going to games or going down the pub, however you watch, your matches. And if the natural pushback is, well, you're not the Man United manager, so shut up, then that means that nobody can talk about football unless they are the Manchester United head coach. Literally, you know what I mean? If I go, I tell you what, I don't know, Benjamin Šeško. I think Benjamin Šeško, he's not too bad, got a way to go. And someone goes, well, I think he's shit. And then you go, yeah, but you're not the Man United manager, so you can't talk about it. Then we'll just end the conversation.
What's the point?
We'll go, well, if that is the barometer to discuss these things, then only one guy can talk, and that's Ruben Amorim, isn't it? Then then we should go home. So that's all it is. It's opinion at the end of the day. I think if the Man United manager comes out and says, yeah, I did tweak some things, then yeah, he should listen to that. But in like I said, when it's not that deep, it's not even a gotcha either way. You know what I mean? It's not a hold that. It's not a see, you were right, you were wrong. Because the real crux of it, what really matters is, are we winning matches? Do we feel good about watching our team? Do we come out of the game and go, okay, I'm happy my team won today? Am I getting that winning feeling more often than not? At the moment, we are. That's what I care about. Now, if that makes me a fake fan, or you're not here for the hard times, then it is what it is. But all I care about is my team is winning more often. I've said before, I really don't subscribe to there's a certain way to play football, and there's a certain way to do things, and this, that, and the other. It's kind of just dumb, really. And actually, I think, as All Elite says there in the chat, I think that you can do. I think the hold that is very much good for the ops. You know what I mean? When you beat Liverpool,
you shouldn't really be doing it in your own
hold that. But when we sort of do the infight and hold that, like we said before, what were you holding? What we holding? What wins? Good.
Yeah, no, it is, and that's why, like, that's what I'm saying. We were saying it before, like, even before this Amorim, way before this Amorim thing came out, I was saying, like, and I don't even think it's healthy, because as soon as you win one game, people go, "Oh yeah, Amorim again. You back to Amorim?"
Yeah,
then it's a second game. You go, "Yeah, are you back now? You back now?" Then the 3 games in a row, you must be now. Then it's like 5 unbeaten. You go, when are you going to say it? And I'm like, you know what? I don't think it's healthy to keep discussing the manager's future every single game, especially as well when Sir Jim Ratcliffe has come out and said what he said, which Amorim also talked about how that kind of calmed things down. Also, so he's not going anywhere. The second thing is if you are seeing your team just go on a decent run for the first time in God knows how long, just be involved in the run. Just chill. Just enjoy it. Just take it game by game. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't need to be this discussion of his future. And clearly, also, what you can do is go, you know what? He's not going anywhere. And it probably is for the best right now, actually. Like, there's a bit of stability now. Things are calming down. You can do that.
And also, as well, like you mentioned about going from game to game, this is when, like, every game can't be a referendum on Ruben Amorim. Every moment in a game, that's how I think deep into the weeds it's got at points is we score a goal, like you said, so you Ruben in, we concede a goal, so you Ruben out, and it's like my goodness, you know what I mean? My goodness, or like, for instance, against Spurs, like there'll be a substitution in the game. This is why I'm Ruben out, and you go, what, because of a sub? You know what I mean? Or you know what I mean? It's mad. And like I've said before, I hold my hands up and admit that was wrong to probably call for him earlier on in the season. And like you said, Flex, I think you're always learning as well. You've been doing it longer than me, but I've spoken about this recently too. Of like, okay, the Ten Hag tenure. What did I learn from that? I definitely learned from the Ten Hag tenure of like, don't get like I think in the past we've been so player FC that we got so far into manager FC, into the sense of like, they can do no wrong and they're the one that are going to guide us to the promised land. And when it does go wrong, we can't see it. So I was like, I'm not really going to do that this time. So I learned that lesson, and maybe I pushed that a bit too strong on Amorim. But what I have learned this season is, a couple of games into a new campaign, a lot can happen. And you do, as difficult it is, have to sort of let it play out, don't you? You do have to sort of let it play out. And we're into November, nearly into December, and still, it's really difficult to. No one really knows what's going to happen for the rest of the season, do you? When it comes to the Champions League positions or European positions or what have you, because so much can and already has changed. So from that one, I would go, well, I definitely learned that you have to give more time in that regard. So it definitely was wrong in that. So I don't even think it's like, oh, you just can't admit that you were wrong. It's just like, again, it doesn't matter. it doesn't matter. When we're winning games, I don't think the focus should be on, who was right and who was wrong. It should be, okay, how far can we go? What are we going to achieve?
It can't be exactly. It can't be that, because you'd be doing it every single time. Shout out Tabra, says, morning UV fan. The Premier League has shafted us with our next 5 games being at 8 p.m.
brutal, isn't it?
Or later. Absolute disgrace. No regards for the fans. By the FA, sort it out. I mean, really, what's happened is we're an easy tap-in for the broadcasters. Easy tap-in. And the reason why we're an easy tap-in is because we're massive. We've only got 1 game a week. And when you need to fill late games where people are at home, want to watch something, or Monday games when they're usually the runt of the litter, it is a tap-in to put Man United there. And I don't agree with it. I think it's bad. I'm someone who goes to all the home games at a minimum, and it's a long distance, and even this Monday one coming up, you're doing things in the daytime, you got work and stuff like that, and you got to shoot all the way up, come all the way back super late, then work Tuesday. It's not easy, and there's, like you said, there's quite a lot of games. There's a Thursday night game that's late. There's like you said, there's another Monday ones, and it's awesome. So
we got picked the Boxing Day fixture, the only one, that Boxing
Day
fixture,
the only one,
8
and it's 8 o'clock. It's not even like it's 12:30.
So the transport and travel that day, being day after Christmas, would be brutal. You know what I mean?
It's bullshit, and even that one, I might not even do that one. So it does force you, because you want to be around family and that is this, that, the other. That's a big ask. So 100% Tabras, they've absolutely done us. When I look at it from the business point of view to try and understand why they've made that decision, it's not hard. We're Man United, we're massive. They're crucifying us because we've only got 1 game a week. So we're like, don't matter to them. They just put them Monday night. Do you know what I mean? All these late games, they don't have to rest or recover from anything in midweek. So to protect ourselves from this crap next year, the boys need to make sure they get in some form of Europe, man, because it's just going to continue. As a fan, it feels weird. So Super Archers, as a fan, it feels weird going from Amorim in or out on every podcast to people not caring as long as we keep a winning streak. Well, everyone does things differently, innit? Everyone's like saying...
the thing is with this as well, it's such a unique situation as well, isn't it? Because, like I've mentioned this quite a few times before, and this is something that I've learned throughout this process, is that you can dwell on last season, but actually, like I said, it's largely irrelevant. It doesn't have any impact on this season, does it? The points that you did or didn't get last season, does that affect how you're going to perform in the Premier League this season? No. But as Man United fans that lived it every single week, and it was horrible, it was tedious, and there have been those real low moments, like the Spurs one at the Europa League final, or the Grimsby one. Like, it's difficult to come back from. And when people say, "Oh, just move on, put it in the past," it's difficult. But,
it is.
But it is kind of what you have to do, isn't it? It doesn't have that much of an impact on what's currently happening at the moment. It has an impact in the sense of we're not in the Champions League, let's say, if we'd have won that final. But those games when we lost to West Ham at home last season doesn't mean anything this season, in the same way that Liverpool won the Prem last season, but now they're worse this season, and they're struggling. Last season's last season. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like you do just have to kind of move on and look ahead to the future. And even if that's, I didn't think that Ruben had changed things, or if you look at this last season, blah blah blah, it just doesn't matter, does it? It just doesn't matter. What really matters is, are we going to beat Everton on Monday? And like you said, if in that game, it doesn't go great, that also can't be a referendum on Ruben Amorim of like, get to the end of that game, dependent on the result, that's when you're Ruben in or out. That's kind of just like, we just can't keep doing that. And
No,
I don't know about you, Flex. Like I said, I'm worn down by it, to be honest.
Yeah, I am.
really
actually,
am.
one thing I do want to take time out to talk about, actually, because those are the things about the fans where, like you say, 100% you're worn down by it. It's tiresome, it's tedious, it's boring. You're like, oh, we can't keep doing this, all of that. 100% agree with that. But actually, do you know what? When you read out that interview, do you know what? I was actually nodding and saying, do you know what? Because really what we're not talking about enough, which is what your point is, this is really good growth for Amorim, you know? This is actually really good growth. Because
emotions
yeah,
and all that.
because what he's saying, and this is what I want to see from my manager, which, you know, at the beginning when we're trying to get used to him and, you know, we love the way he speaks and stuff, but then he's gone too emotional on certain things. And he's basically, in my opinion, how I've read it, he's sort of admitting that he had to get a check of his emotions because taking control or charge of a club this big, like it's my job to sort of pull people together and go in the right direction. And I can't remember, I don't know if you could bring it up again, the bit where he says, oh, there it is there. What's the bit where he says, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, this is it. Because so the article says, adapting to the intensity of the English top flight has always been a sizable task over the past 12 months, not just in terms of tactical decision making, but also the off the field demands when basically interviews and stuff like that. He says, I felt like last year I was always overwhelmed with the games. I didn't have, the Reds boss admitted, I didn't have the time to settle down, to understand that my job is not just the pitch, it's outside the pitch. It is to push for everyone. I felt like last year I was really emotional all the time because I was struggling with the results. Again, like us all.
Right. So, yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, so full stop right there. Yeah, pause right there. That bit there is the bit I'm talking about. Because that's him saying, I was fucking an emotional wreck after every game. And I realized, like, at Man United. So when we were saying, and this is what I'm saying, why.
And we all were.
And
that's the boss.
Just go,
that's the
boss.
manager.
After Grimsby, when people were like, you're going too extra. Have you never been angry in the job before? Have you never done? When people were saying that and we're going, guys, we can't treat the job of Man United as a normal, regular 9 to 5, right? Because it's not the same. I hate when people do that because it's not the same. And you have to understand that when you are Man United manager, your words carry weight. Your emotions carry weight. Yes, you're human. You're going to let things slip out. I'm not saying you should, you should be immune you should be a robot. But you have to understand, if you come out after bad losses, yes, when we're fans and we lose our heads and I'm sitting there going, I've been fooled by the clothes. Oh, my God. Yeah, I can do that. I'm a shitty fan. Do you know what I'm saying? Not shitty fan, but, I'm a fan, right? But as the Man United manager, if you then go to the media after we've just lost a game like that and you offer up lines like, maybe I'll quit and I can't get rid of them, but you can get rid of me and all that emotional. This is him saying, I've evolved from then. I've learned from then. I've changed since then. And I think that's brilliant. He's looked at and I also think it's good to admit that I was just struggling because I was losing every week and my emotions couldn't keep it. I don't mind that.
That's the key part of it. I don't even look at it like, that are evolving. I think that just goes to show that if the Man United manager, the head coach, the guy who's in charge, if he's going, look, I was getting emotional, I'm struggling because we're losing games, then what is going to happen then with a fan? He hasn't experienced, that type of top flight pressure. You're going to experience that emotion as well. And you've got almost more license to express it than the Man United manager, don't you? So if he sort of said, look, I really struggled last year because we were losing all the time, or I was struggling with the results, then the fans are going to be saying the same thing. So, and then he says,
I think it's really good.
I was always going to say that this is going to take time, but I'm the guy that has the bigger responsibility to take care of everything and to control the emotions a little bit better. Which
there you go.
I think that is, you mentioned the A word, accountability, but that's really
that's it.
That is
that's all I was asking for, and that's it. And for me,
so Flex, so he listened to you and did what you said.
No. All I will say is, I feel like for me, I'm happy with that. Like, I really am happy with that. And I think actually, rather than, like we just saying, we had to address the bit of like, people were saying he didn't change. Some were saying he did. And that's the topic of conversation. That's what actually happened. But the bigger point, which is why we wanted to get to that, is actually let's big up Ruben, in my opinion, for coming out with such a strong, honest interview, admitting the things that he's adapted and tweaked and shown us about his journey. And I'm thinking, yeah, you know what? I like it. I like that he's evolving. I do. I really do.
Yeah. No, I think it's, like I said, I think it's fair.
I read that one. Right. So he's reflected on his first year. That's what we want to see. I did see, we haven't got quotes and stuff, but we could just talk about it. A little bit of transfer stuff about Antoine Semenyo.
It
was really interesting.
Really interesting with that. Like I said, the difference. So I saw that Ben Jacobs, I think he did an interview with United Stand, and I also saw, I think he was posting this online, sort of saying that Man United are interested in Antoine Semenyo. They're more conscious of the PSR position than, say, maybe Liverpool are, but obviously there was interest in the summer, so there is interest there. Then Carl Anker went on social media, went on X, and sort of went, listen to Ornstein, mate. And I think people took that as maybe a bit of a shot at Ben Jacobs, but he didn't, I think did kind of clarify himself, go, no, I didn't mean it like that. I'm just sort of saying, Ornstein's saying something very different. And Ornstein's effectively kind of sort of saying the opposite of that. And of course, he was the one to kind of break the story in the first place about the release clause, wasn't he?
He was. He's basically saying that, well, Ben Jacobs, to paraphrase, is saying that, yep, Man United absolutely looking at that type of deal. You know, they're looking at deals in the summer, in the January, in the winter window. Yeah, look at it. It's fine. He might, when Man United might do something. And then when you listen to the podcast with David Ornstein, he's suggesting that, you know, Spurs have been right there. Manchester City, the Liverpool succession plan, they need a top left winger. Haven't replaced Diaz. You know, Wirtz is not good out there. Gakpo needs a bit of work. Succession plan to Salah, sort of thing they're looking at. So they're sort of saying Liverpool could be right up there. And he says Manchester United, from what I'm hearing, he basically says, are not really looking for that. So I'm surprised those Ornstein comments didn't make it to like aggregators saying Ornstein says this about the Man United bit. So yeah, it depending on how you look at it or who you want to, you know, what line you want to take on it. There are basically two different journalists essentially or reporters saying basically opposite things. So,
yeah, and no, obviously no slight against Ben Jacobs, but with David Ornstein, you know, the track record, and you know, as we always say, Ornstein certainly isn't one of those journalists that, you know, Ben Jacobs is very, and look, Ben Jacobs has been on the channel. Ben Jacobs is very active, isn't he, on social media? You know, a lot of tweets, a lot of posts, a lot of updates. Ornstein doesn't really do that. He sort of does the whole like, well, when I've got information, I'll come with it kind of sort of thing, isn't he? He doesn't really do the saga. He does the sort of beginning, middle, end. That's it. So if he's sort of saying that Man United aren't really in the race, and this is, like we said before, I think with transfers, there is such a vacuum now of information because the leaks aren't there that were there previously when it comes to our transfer business. So whenever there is a vacuum, people try to fill it, you know what I mean, with just stuff. They fill it with stuff. And it is logical, isn't it? It's entirely logical to go, well, United were interested in Semenyo in the summer. Now that there is a concrete way to get him for 65 or 60 plus 5, and next summer it's going to be even less, then why wouldn't they be interested? So it's entirely logical that you would think the Man United would be in there. And the thing is, they still might. They still might. People just, they might not know. But when they do know, you get the impression that, you know, David Ornstein would be first to kind of know, or he'd be pretty front and center. I mean, David Ornstein broke the Mbumo story. Remember, he was the one to really break the story that Lenny Yoro was on his way to Manchester. I remember that, when he literally just came out, just dropped the article, just went, Lenny Yoro's flying to Manchester, now he's going to do a medical. And I was like, what? I thought he didn't want to go to United. I thought he was only interested in going to Real Madrid, right? So if we are going for Semenyo, you think it would be Ornstein would probably break that story, one would think. And if he's saying no, then probably looks less likely. I suppose the real question is, will anyone just in general activate that release clause in January? I mean, because one thing I suppose we haven't considered with it is, has Semenyo said to Bournemouth, you know, I know it's in there, but like, I'll see out the season with you. Because just because you activate a release clause doesn't mean you have to go.
No.
You know
well,
I mean?
This is what was interesting about what Ornstein was saying. And I think it's important. if you do get a chance, guys, to give it a listen. If you care about more context on the Antoine Semenyo stuff on a deeper level, then check it out. He's basically saying that the release clause is only active for the first 2 weeks of the window, which gives Bournemouth a chance to get a replacement.
Couple weeks,
then it's not that. In the summer, he was like, clubs could opt to leave it until the summer because that release clause gets lower, and you've got a real chance to get somebody as good as him for like even cheaper than the 60 plus 5. What they did talk about, which I thought was interesting, was Tottenham, because you don't like Daniel Levy's gone now. You're in a bit of an unknown place of like, do they want to make a statement signing to show their fans like, listen, this is a new era. They tried to get him in the summer already. They're short of attacking options in quality anyway. They've got like Odegaard on the left. Who else plays on the left?
I tell you what, that's a really
Tell
good point.
sometimes.
I hadn't thought
so.
Of that.
It would make sense to get both Ghanaians. You get Kudus on the right. You get Semenyo on the left. Yeah. Like it could be a real statement signing for the new Spurs hierarchy to say, look, we're being real, we're being serious, so watch out for that. And that's true.
It's just about whether you would go to Spurs. Yeah, it's just about whether you would go to Spurs, isn't it?
Guys, I'm telling you, man, he would.
But you're
right. Unless there's something else.
But you're right in the sense. I hadn't really thought of that. I suppose it is a bit like when Ed Woodward came in after David Gill, and we're doing transfers that you just go, Man United a year or so ago, but they wouldn't have done that. You know what I mean? Like
exactly.
That's that. Not that first one where we only signed Marouane Fellaini, but that next one where you end up getting Falcao and Di Maria and this, that, and the other. You go, they don't really feel like signings we would have necessarily maybe done under Sir Alex. You know what I mean? Throwing a lot of money and sort of going, I don't know. Maybe Spurs might do the same thing. You never know.
Exactly. But if that's his only thing there, if that's his only option,
that's the thing. But everyone want him.
He might say
he'll know
everyone want him. But if Liverpool, like Steve was saying in the chat there, like if Liverpool come for him, then you're going to go Liverpool. But Arsenal, we was talking about Arsenal saying, and that was interesting. David Ornstein was like, Arsenal kind of need to like release some players out. Really, need to sell some players. Make some money back. And squad space. Like they've got Martinelli, Trossard on the left. They've got Nwaneri, Madueke, Saka on the right. And Madueke can play both sides. In the 10s they're stacked, and he doesn't play there. So they've Max Dowman don't want to block his pathway. So they've got a lot. They've got a lot of stuff to do. Arsenal. I can't see them coming in for some menu. Eze can play off the left as well when Odegaard's back. So there's so much going on at Arsenal. It doesn't fit right now. You're looking at City. They're going down the traditional winger route. They kept Savinho.
You never know with City. You never know.
They kept Savinho when Spurs tried to get him, and they said no. He signed a new deal. Doku's doing bits now. Shirky can play out there. So there's options in it for him. People will. I think Spurs might have the clearest.
They won't be his only option. They won't be his only option.
It won't be his only option. But maybe in January it might be though. But then Liverpool would probably come in as well.
But then even if it is in January, you would still have these clubs, maybe like United, sort of going, look, we're going for you in the summer. Don't worry about it. And then it's a bit like, well, and also if Antoine Semenyo doesn't give United like the okay of like, I want to come to you, then they won't go for him because that was a prerequisite for signing him in the summer, wasn't it? Of like Brian Mbeumo, Mateus Cunha. Do you want Man United and no one else? First of all, Benjamin Šeško again. We know Newcastle's interested in you. Do you want Man United and no one else? Yes. Right. Then we'll go get you. If you're interested in other ones, we're not interested. We're not going to go. Yeah, exactly.
Else, you know what I mean? So, and Austin was saying from a Bournemouth perspective, it's not like, they're laughing out of this because that's why they know that he wouldn't have signed a new deal if this clause wasn't in there. So you had to kind of put the clauses in there. Yeah. If he goes in January, you're getting 60 plus 5 million in add-ons. So that's a lot of money. And it's only valid for the first 2 weeks, which gives you time to protect yourself to go and get other players. So that helps. And then if he doesn't go in January, you get him for the whole season. And that's a big plus for Bournemouth. So everyone wins. Everyone wins. You can see how that's worked. Similar to Mateus Cunha when he signed it at Wolves. Yeah. For me, Max says that for me, none of that matters. It's always been the results. Managers get away with everything. As long as they're winning. Managers get away with everything as long as they're winning. When results go bad, statements and press conferences become super important. It's true. It's true. Now we're on a good run. We're a bit more receptive to hearing some good stuff. And, same with Jason Wilcox on that podcast. If that would have been sort of, when we were last year 15th and that, people just like, oh, whatever, don't want to hear it. You can change the narrative.
Yeah, well, I think what Max sort of said in there is right, that when you're not winning, that is when you hyper scrutinize every word. Well, by this word, did he mean this? Like, you know, like the rate thing. Oh, when you say rate, do you mean this? Do you mean that? If you're winning, people will just hear that and it's over your head. Don't care. Like, for instance, the post-match press conference, when we win a match, no one gives a shit what Ruben Amorim says in that. You know, the post-match press conference, when we lose, then suddenly it's like, what did you say?
Yeah,
what did you mean?
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, when you win, we're all just got our own adulation for different players. He was great. He was brilliant.
He said, "Well, after the game, I didn't watch it. It's fine. Don't worry."
Let's argue over who we think the man of the match actually is. Let's argue over that. No, how could you say it's Bruno? It's definitely in Bruno. You see what he did? Like, those are the good days. Those are good days. Andy H says that not caught you both live in a while. Sending love as always. Big up to you, Andy. Appreciate that, my bro.
Thank you.
And there you go. There will be a preview for Manchester United, Everton. That'll be out on Sunday morning, actually.
Yeah.
Yes. So tune in for that. Trinita later on today, 4 p.m. KG, that comedian, he's already messaged me. Look at this. He's already messaged me from Saudi. Yep. Screenshot of upload speed, says this should be fine. Yeah. And I've responded saying, yep, see you there, 4 p.m. And he even said, yes, 4 p.m., 7 p.m. my time. So he's on it.
Plus 3 hours. Plus 3 hours.
Plus 3 hours. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. So big up to KG. We'll see him later on for the Trinity at 4 p.m. We will be there. And Ruben is speaking to the media later on as well. So, yes, big up to each and every single one of you. Smash the like on the video. We are out of here. Take care. Peace.